If you've seen any video of Matt D'Avella, well, you know he often starts off with something serious. Mostly people walking, a few shots of himself, only to end up with a joke or a parody. Whether it's shaving his beard, making inappropriate jokes,
dick pics,
or zipping up a penguin suit. He does tend to make amazing videos, and I'm just really curious as how he does it. And so did you, because you just clicked on this video. What? You thought I was going to go full mustache like Matt? Nah, it still needs to grow a little bit more. But talking about Matt D'Avella, what does that D stand for anyway? Every so often we come across a creator who really resonates with us, whether it's their persona, their film style, or the topics they discuss. We can't help but wonder, how do they do it? And that's what this series is about. In this episode, I am looking at a creator that has helped me grow personally, helping me focus and narrowing down the things that really matter in my own life. Got a penguin suit. Not everyone can see that. So let's take a look behind the edit of how Matt D'Avella turns a blank timeline into an overall masterpiece. So before I go ahead, I have to show you how I tackled this video. Because in the end, it's really nothing special. It just takes a lot of work and a lot of patience, but you can do it yourself. You have to steal like an artist, Austin Kleon once said. And with that, I don't mean just copy whatever you see. You have to take down the work and deconstruct it into the smallest building blocks to see the overall perspective. Then you can just throw away what doesn't work for you and implement the bits and pieces that do fit in your own work. That is creativity. That is building something uniquely to you. But now, let's get demolition mode onto Matt's videos and tear them apart. That's what he said. Now before I really started, I researched 5 videos to really get down into how he edits all things together. 3 viral videos and 2 videos that I really enjoyed watching myself. And from here I went full beast mode and noted shot type, time code, building blocks and specifics to the shot or scene for every damn cut. I would write down my findings and after all look at the overall structure of how he built his videos. I split these findings into 3 different pieces: ideation, filmmaking, and editing. Now, full disclosure, I am a Patreon of Matt, and in one AMA, I asked him how he does his ideation steps.
Tom's Odyssey. So question, can you guide us in short what your ideation process looks like?
But here's what I also saw from dissecting his videos. He uses quite a bit of interviews in these mini documentaries, but instead of just giving us a whole video, he cuts it up and then takes the best pieces he knows has some good content. Then it's time to write around that and build his own story on top of what's being discussed by the experts. That's his perspective on a topic, really making one cohesive story. Now, I did a lot of research and I came across this one: how I make my movies. Although, now I suggest you watch this as well, but here in this video he talks mainly about gear. And that's not what this is. I want to look at the storytelling aspects he puts forward in his videos. But what I got from this one is that it's not about the gear that you have, it's the gear that you know how to use that really matters. And you also have to think Matt is a filmmaker with over 10 years of experience. In that time, you really build up to mastery of the cameras that you use. And especially as a documentary filmmaker, you need to be ready for when the action happens. But you also see that in the shots that he produces. He goes above and beyond and films himself as a subject of his own mini documentaries. It feels as if there's another filmmaker with him to follow him around all day. Or is it? He mainly uses 4 types of shots as building blocks, as I like to call them, and this is what he uses to structure his videos. B-roll, supporting the voiceover that is really telling the story. Talking head, discussing his insights and experiences. Interviews where he talks with the experts, and then candid moments or a variete, just in the moment shots that give it an authentic feel and will lighten up the mood. But when everything comes together, that's when it gets interesting. The essence of this video. How does he tie up all those building blocks together into one piece you want to watch from start to finish? And for that, I headed over to my breakdown and started looking for trends. And after 6 videos, I was really on a roll. I started to see some similar things popping up now and then. Here they are. Number 1, B-roll. And I mean, at least what I like to call B-roll, linked together with the voiceover, makes up the bedrock of his storyline. Then on top of that, he builds his story, adding elements of talking head sections, interviews, and vlogs, kind of candid moments. And this is something completely opposite to a lot of YouTubers who are filming their talking headshots and then just putting some B-roll on top of that, just like I used to do, even like less than a year ago. Now, when he is talking to the camera, he shuts himself tight in a corner and then has a lot of background, making it really look professional with a lot of depth of field. Instead of normally, I would be really close up, making different, decors in the background. He also likes to switch between a talking head part on a tripod and then go over into vlogging, or the other way around, shaking things up and keeping it interesting for the viewer. He is not too afraid to put on the brakes. And with that, I mean literally. There are strategic pauses in the video when you don't hear any voiceover. These pauses give you a time to rest and catch up with all the stuff he's been saying while you were casually checking your phone and not paying attention. Interviews, when tied into a story, come up 2 or 3 times into the video, just long enough to get the essence, but definitely not too long for you to get bored watching just 2 people talk in the sofa. And last but not least, these candid moments. They really give you the feel like you're there with him. They also lighten up the mood, especially when things get really serious. But nothing is as serious as Matt's Easter eggs with little D-jokes sprinkled now and then.
Quick pics. I'm sorry, dick pics.
They're just all over the place. And Matt once said, you have to tie in your own sense of humor in your videos. Now, I do think it's fun to have entertaining videos. Well, my kind of humor might just be a little bit too much for what you all can take. And that, my friends, is what he said. I don't know why I'm doing this, but Matt, fuck you. I had a ton of fun making this video, and if you want to see others of these behind the edit videos, make sure to drop a sub or watch any of these other videos that you're seeing right here. Okay guys, I'm off. Antarctica, it needs me.